Hi guys, working on some of the little odd jobs on the TS250. Uh, if you'd watched the tear down of the bike, you would have noticed that we had a big hole in the exhaust right here. I believe there's supposed to be a hole there, but we had a big piece that was ripped out. So that's not right. And I've got this hole here yet to fill. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm satisfied it did not have the proper baffle in it, and I've got the right one coming. The one that I had only had one hole and nothing lined up, so I think it's supposed to have a hole here, but I'll wait until I get the baffle in. But anyway, I've already repaired that one there. Got just a little sanding yet to do, but we'll go ahead and start filling this one. Got something here blowing the shielding gas away. I think it's the welder itself. I can feel it blowing on. That doesn't work very good. Well, let's see if we can get her. All right, we've got her welded up there, and this side's already done. But from the illustrated parts breakdown, it appears that you have a screw goes into this bung and one over just behind it. So we'll see when I get the baffle. I was lucky enough to be able to find one. So I'll go ahead and sand this down, try to work it. You know, I may have to apply a little bit more weld, just depending on how deep it went down there. It looks like maybe I ought to put a little on the inside there. That's kind of what I had to do on the other one. You just put a little in here. I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so I've added a little fill right here. So I'll sand off there and take a burr and get this, smooth it up. And what I'm working on here too is I'm starting to polish the hubs. So that's that's one of my most hated jobs, especially a deal like this, because your pad always gets hung up in these and leaves the polishing rouge along there. So it's kind of a difficult thing. Anyway, for me it is. So I'm working on that, and pretty soon I'll be respoken and truing the wheels. And I've decided I'm going to go ahead and show that. I don't know, it didn't work very good. You know, didn't have very many viewers on the TC, but we'll see how this one goes. And back here, I've got some, let me move this pipe real quick. I'm polishing some handlebar levers, well, not the levers, but the holders and that sort of thing. It really works pretty good. There's the holders. They've been in there, a day or so. I started them out with some stainless steel pins, and that really cleans them up good. I had a couple of these. I think I've only got one other side of it though. And where is it? There it is. Okay. Yeah, the one that came on the original bike, this was broken out of. So all this stuff here is it's polishing away. That way I don't have to do so much to it. It just the little brass polisher really works good. You see the action in there. And these things are designed to run continually for days. So I've got the walnut shell in there, but for different things you can put the corncob media, or like I said, the stainless steel pins. We got her cleaned up inside, and this is the first one that I'd fixed. And this is the other side. It's hard to keep it in the line of view there, sorry guys. Got a little rust to take care of on the rear hub here. They always seem to get rusty in there because it's metal instead of aluminum. Of course, aluminum wouldn't hold up. Just a little light repair there. And then I'm going to turn it around. And I'm just going to touch up the hub here a little bit with some sandpaper. A little bit of rust in there. This is just 220. Not really going to take much metal out. So we took care of most of the rust there and on the inside. Just take a little brake clean and clean the rest of it up. Get these backing plates cleaned up. I think we're getting pretty close to needing them. Oh man, it's been on there a while. Take note if you're doing this, you've got an O-ring back here for keep the moisture out. And you've got to, I've already loosened this. I don't have a tool for this one. I made one for the Yamaha. Well, I don't know, maybe it'll work, I don't know. It looks smaller. Yeah, it won't even go in the hole. I just used a pair of snap ring pliers to start it, and once you get it going, you can just kind of move it with a screwdriver here until you get it up high enough where you can grab it. It's probably a thrust washer and of course the shaft. I don't see the thrust washer. There it is right there. Okay, stuck to it. And we've got a snap ring here in the middle. Got a seal and the drive. Okay. Can't remember about this. Let me do a little research here and see. Okay, got this figured out here, I think. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get you a good view of this or not. You can reach in there. The problem that I'm running into is I don't want to tear the seal up, and I thought they just kind of moved out. So what I'm going to do is reach in here with a straight blade screwdriver and just pry up. See, there it comes. And it didn't even take a lot of pressure. So that pulls the seal out and the gear. So I was kind of prying against this face here and the casting. So there you go. That way you don't have to damage your seal, and you can reuse that hopefully. Okay, I've got all my small parts in this little basket. That's I'm going to put this in the solvent tank first. That's kind of what I do with all the greasy parts, and then follow that up with the ultrasonic cleaner. And I use it's Simple Green Pro is what I use in there, and it works real good, and it's safe for aluminum. The old Simple Green, the green stuff, you could not use on aluminum. It would, I think it turned it black. When we get this back one tore apart, it's very much the same as the front one. And while that stuff's cooking, I'm gonna put a tire on the wheel that we spoked up yesterday. And these things are worth their weight in gold. All right. The solvent tank will get the majority of the grease off, and then I'll put it in the ultrasonic cleaner to finish it up. These are all the small parts. I'm just going to set them down in the tank there for a little while and let them soak. And they'll also go in the ultrasonic. Okay, I've got my ultrasonic cleaner down here on the bottom of this roll around. I've got all this stuff in there. And the good thing about this is the heat. You can get the heat up there quite a ways. And I even put the brake shoes in. And once I take them out, they'll be free of any oil. I've never had one delam on me yet, so I think it's safe to do it. I've been doing it. And what I'll do with those is let them dry, then I'll sand them lightly with 80 grit just to get the glaze off, and then clean them again with brake clean. But this is pretty good stuff. It's the Simple Green Purple, or Pro, I think they call it. It's kind of a blue color. And I just try to keep that clean all the time because it gets pretty dirty. But it does a wonderful job on everything that I put in it. And like I say, it is safe for aluminum. Alright, we've got everything cleaned up here. And I'm going to go ahead and reassemble the front backing plate with the speedometer parts. So that's the first thing. Everything in there pretty much has got to be lubricated. So we'll start here with just getting a little grease. I use a Q-tip. And you got to get down in there. There's a hole that this goes into. So you want to get some grease in that hole. And then we're going to, let's see, I think I need to get the pinion in there first. So you've got a thrust washer here on both sides of the pinion. Let me just get a little lubricant on it. I'm not going to mess with the gear until I get it in there. See, this washer, yeah, I think it'll stay. And let me get a pair of pliers. Okay, I think we got it in there. Got this kind of a collar. I'm not real sure what they call it. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on the inside of it. This is kind of a Bakelite material. It's more plastic than metal for sure. And then there's a seal that goes here, and it's kind of recessed into the collar, or whatever you want to call that, and that seal is going to need a little grease on it too. And that is going to go around the pinion shaft. And I've actually got a tool that I found that is going to work for me, I think. It's an old tool for replacing dash bezels on a 60s vintage Ford. It doesn't fit exact, so I've got to kind of feel here. Okay, we're in. And I just want to go in here and see if I can still turn the pinion. And I can. So that's good. Now I took that thing out with a pair of snap ring pliers. And I'm just going to, I think, go in here because I can see it a little better. Just give it a little bit of turn. And it all looks good. Make sure I can still turn that. Yes. Okay, the next thing that goes in there is the thrust washer. I'm going to put a little grease on the pinion. Kind of turn it around with the Q-tip. I think you can see that. And then I'm going to put a little grease down here in the floor of this, where that thrust washer is going to go. Okay, it drops in there. Okay, good. Now the gear, and I'm going to put a little lube on the inside. It's going to rotate on this shaft, or this collar, or whatever you want to call it there. And I also want some grease on that gear. Let's see how that goes, and we'll turn that into the pinion. There it's spinning. So you can see there now that the pinion gear is spinning with the driven gear. Okay, clean this up a little bit here on top. And we've got the seal. Remember how we took that out with the screwdriver from the other side? I'm just going to put a little lube on the inside lip of that thing, and it goes down. And I'm just going to use the, see that just, it's a slip fit. Once you get everything in there, you get a snap ring and everything, it's not going to come out. Okay, the next item to go in is the driver, and you have the ears are up like this, and you find the little square right there on the driven gear. And then we've got a thrust washer. I don't think I need grease on that. This is, yeah, I do. Yep, I do. Let me pull that back off. You got these two little cogs right here that go into matching ones on the driven gear. put a little grease on that thrust washer. Slide it down there. And then we've got the snap ring. Feel like that thing's meshed. There. Okay, snap rings in. I'm just going to verify by looking in the hole here to make sure you can see the pinion shaft. I think you can see that turning. So everything's in there like it should be. Okay, we've got our brake shaft here, or eccentric, and we put a little grease on it. Get her. I marked these before I disassembled it, just so I could get it close to where it was. Yeah. Just put a little punch mark on each piece so that so I can see what's going on there. Oh, you know what I forgot? O-ring. O-ring. Yep. Put our O-ring back in. Had one of those, I think, that had a washer on it. Let's see if it was that one. Yes, this one has a washer. Now I'll try to get this one lined back up. I think the other one doesn't have one, the rear, probably because it's got a spring behind it. Okay. Should be right. Now, I've already done one of these. Looks like I've got I got grease on it. Alright, I'll clean that one also. Now what I do here is I take some 80 grit sandpaper and just take the glaze off of this. I'm not trying to remove any material really, just remove the glaze. And tell when the dark spots disappear, you got her. And then I use a little brake clean. And I got a little string of grease on this other one, so I'm going to clean it up too. Okay, so there we go. Nice and clean. I'm sure I'll get more grease on it when I put them on. Right, we're gonna do it like this. Get our spring in here. And see if I can get these hooked in now. That one. You have to kind of dislodge them to be able to get those in there. And then you pull it like it's going to be on there. Now, sometimes this can be a little tricky. What I'm going to do first, just put a little bit of grease on that and a little bit back here, pretty sparingly, because those shoes are going to rotate on those. And then what I do is I pop them loose again, put one side in. Sometimes this works, sometimes it's tricky. Just like that. So that's the easy way, if it works. Sometimes I've had to kind of fiddle around with them, but we get them. Okay, so then, probably got a little grease on the shoes, I'm going to clean them with brake clean again. I use a lot of brake clean. I buy it by the 5-gallon can and then use a vapor sprayer to spray it. They're very handy. Okay, so there we are. As far as that put back together, the back one is pretty similar. I've got the, I don't know what I did with it. I've got the brake stay somewhere, and I'll have to bolt that in. Okay, I found the brake stay right here. I think it needs to be replated. So I've got a few items that I need to replate, and I'll probably do that tomorrow. But I just wanted to show some of the things that I deal with, the smaller little jobs that go along with this. I know everybody knows how to clean and all that stuff, but maybe they don't know about ultrasonic cleaners or about a solvent tank. I don't know, but that's what I do. I usually clean all the really bad grease and stuff off with that, and then go to the ultrasonic cleaner, and that just does a wonderful job. And it's soap and water. You don't have to worry about disposal problems or anything like that. So There you go, another video of the TS250. Thanks for going along the ride. See you next video.